Hello and welcome to the No Name Podcast. This is episode 5 with your hosts Trey
and Braden.
And today we are going to talk about chemtrails. Psych. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, they were outlawed in Tennessee, so let's go. Let's go Vols.
Chemtrails were outlawed in Tennessee? What do you mean?
Do your own due diligence. But I'm pretty sure that, I've seen a couple news headlines. I haven't done my own due diligence, but I know a couple people have been talking about how the local state government has banned cloud seeding, which is also known as chemtrails, which is controversial, and that's not what we're going to talk about today.
That is new news to me.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you could outlaw that. It's just they're not allowed to fly over the state of Tennessee.
Well,
I don't know.
We're not going to.
Let's not go down this topic
because I could, and that'll be for another time.
All right. Let us know in the comments if you want us to talk about cloud seeding.
Yeah, chemtrails. So, all right. So,
anyways, how's the routine been this week for you, brother?
It's been a little off. Yeah, being completely honest, it's been off because our gym has been moving to a new facility, which, hey, let's go. Chris Silk, owner of Operation Iron, proud of everything that you're doing with Operation Iron 2.0. It's going to be great. New location on Crossland Avenue. And your 5 a.m. crew is excited to rep the new place, but we can't go as we normally are as they're moving equipment back and forth. So that's been a stumbling block.
Yeah, seriously. Congrats on that, Chris, if you're watching this, because that's huge. Going to be a bigger facility. You run an awesome gym over there. And yeah, the 5 a.m. crew, I know it's me, you, Dave, and then we got Drew who comes in and Danny who comes in. So shout out to all those guys that are pretty regular there at 5 a.m. So I'm excited to check out what the new gym looks like, but it has thrown off my routine a little bit. Yesterday I ran, obviously, running on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I ended up running and then doing a calisthenics workout, which is nice. I've been just calling it a deload week. When in reality, it's like, man, I don't want to ever have to like rely on the gym in order to be like, it's got me thinking a little bit of like, I need to have a plan in place for like if the gym shuts down.
Right.
Seriously.
I think the same thing. And I was able to adapt on the fly with the whole weights thing and just lifting at another gym during another part of the day. But my thing was I was slacking on the running. And so, yeah, I think that we both need to have a better plan put in place for situations like this, or just not making an excuse, because as John Montgomery said in a previous podcast episode, your excuses don't get you closer to your goals, and they're always going to come up.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, I struggled with the weights. My first default when the gym goes is just like, okay, I'll run every day. So
you did tell me that. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I can't hit leg day today, I'll just go run. It's like, look at a bodybuilder's legs and look at a runner's legs. I don't think that they end up having the same result.
You hear that, John?
This wasn't a direct call out to anyone. I'm kidding.
I'm just kidding. So, anyways, let's get into a little bit of kind of what we've been chatting about this week and a little bit of what we want to talk about. You have anything you want to say on that before we jump into it?
I think that today's topic is something that you and I are pretty passionate about, and we're just excited to give people a message of encouragement, not trying to point fingers or anything, because while we may label a certain situation, everyone's situation is different, and you can't, call everything a square. There's squares, there's rectangles, there's triangles, like everything is different. But this is just an encouraging message for people that are in the same boat as us who, might just relate to this. So, yeah.
That's good. So today's topic is going to be, again, not pointing fingers, but just about the overall topic of obesity and how that's become a problem in today's world. And is that what we're talking about?
What is the not necessarily obesity as much, but this is just the prime example of is something a help me again.
Oh, is
I was struggling. Please remind me. This is what I wanted to say. I just couldn't come to mind. So please remind me again.
basically is obesity a cause or an effect?
That is what we're going to be talking about today on our podcast episode. Examples of a cause and effect, and how the world says that this malevolent thing is the cause of so many other things. But is that really a cause for other things? Or is that one thing a result?
An effect. And a result or an effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny. We could totally cut that section out, but
I think we're going to leave it just because that's real.
We're going to be real. So we totally mind blanked on what we were talking about today after talking about it all week. So so essentially obesity being a cause of many, many diseases. You got obesity,
high blood pressure, heart disease, you got other different, diabetes, like all these different other things that can come from that, which all stink. And again, not everyone's situation for being obese is the same. You can't call everything a square, but just talking in general terms today.
Yeah. And then, but if you take that back, so like obesity causes all of these things. So like when you go in for heart disease or this, and they tell you, hey, you need to lose some weight, you're obese, whatever it might be. It's like, well, obesity is causing that thing. Yeah. Well, then if you go back down like towards the root and you look at it, you say, okay, well, obesity is a result as well. Yeah. So there's a cause that causes obesity. So again, the whole square peg and a round hole thing, there's different, people's bodies are different, but I think generically we can all look and say, okay, you have obesity, which causes all these things. And a lot of people, that's where the end of the road happens, and people blame obesity for all their problems. But then you got to get back to the root and you say, well, what is obesity a result of? Yeah. And then that could be down at the root. What are your actions that you're taking in order to avoid obesity? Because if you take actions to avoid obesity, then you're taking actions to avoid heart disease, diabetes, all the other things. Yeah. All the other things that come with obesity. Yeah. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, just like you were saying, people will look at this cause and they will demonize this thing. And let's throw pills at this. Let's throw blame at this. Let's make sure that we attack this obesity. We attack what's coming from that. Whether it's obesity or whether you're looking at another example, that isn't the problem necessarily. It's the things that led up to that you can change, that are majority of the times, again, every situation is different, but there are a lot of things that you can have in your control that you can change, which that is a good thing. That's what we're about, being able to change that, being able to change small behaviors and habits that led up to this cause. But really, let's change the things and we can have a different result. How about we create lifestyle choices that have a result of being abnormally healthy? Being very fit, having a good body composition, and what's the result? What's the result of all those things? Maybe you're healthy and you can go take your daughter on her first bike ride, and you can help her as she's pedaling, and you don't have to stop and be like, I can't breathe. That's just, okay. Well, the cause to that good thing that you're able to have with your daughter was a result of all those other choices before. So it goes both ways, and we're just trying to flip the script on what those actions are.
I like that. So you're saying on one hand you have actions and decisions that lead to obesity, and then obesity that leads to this set of diseases. Yeah. And on the other hand, you have actions and plans that lead to a healthy lifestyle. Yeah. Being fit, being mentally clear. I want to point that out because what I think is just as important as being physically in shape is going to be the mental clarity, the lack of brain fog, the energy. So you have on this hand all those, and then on this hand you have the actions and things you can do that are going to lead to a healthy lifestyle, and then the result of those are going to be only things that, if you're looking at this from a bird's eye view, this path only looks like not fun, and then look at the result of everything over here. I don't think you can look at this side and say, okay, I made these awesome choices that led to a healthy lifestyle, but I think the diabetes or this and that sounds more fun. So unless you it's like if you look at it from a bird's eye view, and if there was no obstacles in the way, I think everyone would walk this way.
Yeah, but the thing is, let's put, all other like extensive circumstances out of the window. Some people, again, I just want to overemphasize this because we're not saying that everyone's situation is the same. And I know that there are comorbidities that other people, like not everyone is born with the health that some people have. And so that is a blessing. So in theme of taking care of the blessings that we've been given, like you said, most people would want to choose this, but what's stopping them? It's hard. It is hard to make those decisions that lead to, let's say, a healthy lifestyle in this example. But I truly believe that you have to choose your hard. This isn't something I've coined. Multiple people have gone down the train of thought of choosing your hard. And in this example, you can choose your hard by having healthy lifestyle decisions for, fruitfulness to come. Or, let's say, in this other path that you're describing, overindulgence, whatever, obesity, now having heart disease and diabetes and high blood pressure and all these, that's hard and that stinks. So it's the parallel. You have to choose your hard on the front end, or you can reap what you sow, and that is also hard.
So let me put it this way. So going back to the whole cause and effect thing, when you look at both of these paths, when you look here, that goes actions lead to obesity, lead to disease, actions lead to healthy, lead to all of these amazing things that everyone can envision that they want.
Yeah.
And you're saying choose your hard. Mm-hmm. So on one end, you're choosing the hard here, and the result is the easy. Mm-hmm. On the other end, you're choosing the easy, but the result is the hard. Right. So like on the end of, your actions lead to obesity, lead to disease, you're choosing everything in the moment that is easy. But then every result from the things that are easy become hard. The diabetes are not easy. The heart disease is hard. The not being able to, run up and down a flight of steps chasing your child playing tag is hard. All the results are hard on this end because you decided to make the easy choice in the moment. Yeah. Where over here, there are things that you can do to, like, in the moment, okay, I'm going to do these things. This is hard, but every result is where the easy happens. So you're either going to choose the hard cause the easy cause for the hard result, or you're going to choose the hard cause for the easy result, the good result. It's like the flip. It just completely flips the script.
Yeah.
And then what you'll find too, honestly, is even though in the moment it might be a little difficult here as you're walking down this path of like being healthy, leading to all of these amazing things that whatever you in your own mind envision a healthy version of you looks like, you'll find that now you truly enjoy all the actions you're taking. You just have to kind of keep going, get over it for a little while, because then once you reach that and you like are outside running around with your child, or you're finishing a 5K, or you're like super proud of yourself, whatever it is, once you get a taste of that, all of the hard things that led up to that now become way easier.
Yeah.
And you're like, I never want to go back, truly.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion.
No, I agree. I agree. I think that you explained that perfectly, actually. That's really good.
I got another thing I'll add to it. I don't think that just the results of the healthy version of you have to be physical results, because for me, the thing that keeps me going, like, I've experienced both. I haven't struggled with diabetes. I haven't struggled with heart disease, things like that. But along this path where I'm not doing I have struggled with I'm 25 years old, but I've struggled with energy levels for a 25-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I should not be that tired.
Yeah.
Brain fog, being able to focus for only like 10 minutes at a time. And then, when I met you, I turned a lot of these things around, and I was like, okay, this is my accountability guy for, all things health and wellness. And so then all of a sudden I started doing these things, and yes, I'm physically changing, but I don't care if I physically changed another day in my life, because now I'm able to hold on for longer than 30 minutes when I'm thinking about one train of thought. I can actually hold a train of thought from 9 to noon if I have to,
Yeah.
and say, okay, I just had a morning focusing on this project I'm working on without being interrupted every 10 minutes because my mind was like bouncing all over the place. And that came from a lifestyle choice of like, okay, I decided to eat for breakfast this morning, or probably first it started when I said, okay, I'm going to go to the gym this morning. And then when I went to the gym, and then I came home and I ate the breakfast that I cooked that was whole foods. It was meat. It was, fruits. It was peppers, vegetables, whatever it might be. And now I've fueled my body and my mind for a day's worth of focus, energy, rather than like, okay, fueling it with like if I went to McDonald's and had a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit like I'd used to do all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. And then all of a sudden now I'm, at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I've basically checked out on the day because I'm already thinking about the McDouble that I want the next round go around here. But yeah, the mental rewards and the internal rewards are massive too. It's not just a physical thing, I want to point out.
Yeah, there are so many implications beyond just the physical. Like you're touching on, there's the physical, there's the mental, all of that awesome stuff. And then there's so many implications to this spiritually. We could create another example of this, of just gratifying the ways of the flesh versus letting your vessel be led by the Spirit. And we could go down all of that, but I think that this is something that anyone can apply to whatever facet of life that it is that they're wanting to focus on. Here, we're going to encourage you to uplift yourself in all those areas, because I don't think that you can excel in one area, that you can truly excel in one area without lifting up all of those at the same exact time.
Well, yeah, when you focus on one of them, like, so the 4 things we focus on here, they're all interconnected.
Yeah.
So like faith, fitness, finance, and framework being your mindset. When you start to, number 1, focus on your faith, it's all a snowball effect of the yeses become yeses and nos become nos. Like seriously, like anything you said yes to, I'm going to do, becomes a yes. So you start to focus on your faith. That looks like I'm going to read scripture every day. And then once you do that, again, it goes back to the whole confidence thing. But like one thought I was having this week was like, as I was running on my run, I was just thinking about the concept of like being different than I ever have been. So as I'm posting on social media or more, or as I'm starting to, have discussions with other people about what it is that I'm doing, or like people are seeing me, I'm posting some motivational stuff on social media, dude, there is some like wild thoughts that go on in your mind of like, well, what are all my followers on social media or like, gonna think? What are they gonna think? This is a version of me that they have never seen before. So when you put that version of you out there, people automatically, first thing they do is like question, like, what's gotten into him? Well, like, why is he better now? And like that's a real thing, bro. And it like, so then you start to think, you start to question, like, should I post this? Should I talk about this? Mm-hmm. For faith, it might look like, okay, one person has known you for your whole life as this one person, and then all of a sudden now you're talking about scripture and quoting scripture, and now, you know, talking about the Bible and wanting to have conversations about that, and they're like, who's this guy, you know?
Yeah.
So anyways, I think about that, and like as I was running, I was like, okay, I feel called to be great in all these areas of life, but I genuinely have to give myself permission to be great, because God has given me permission.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Yahuwah has given me permission to be great. And then I started thinking about in scripture verses that just talk about being great. And it says, greater is he who is in me than the one who is in the world. And then also, you know, throughout scripture, everyone's heard or everyone's seen, you know, where it says we are called to do greater things than him. And then also just thinking about the story of what I was sharing with you earlier this week, the story of Moses, man. And I even shared this on my social media. I had a completely different social media plan for the day, but I ended up sharing this on social media because this was the day I was like doubting all the things I was doing. And then the first thing that came to mind was the story of Moses when
He was in a very similar situation.
Yeah, he was in a very similar situation. He was literally told to go down and talk to the Israelites. And he was like, Lord, no. He was like, no, I don't have the mouth to speak and the tongue to, and then basically God told him, no, who is it that puts words in your mouth? And who is it that gives people ears to hear? Like, go and speak. I will give you the exact words to say. So I say all that to say, go check that out in Exodus 4. But I say all that to say, we are called to be great, and we just have to step into it and just know that he is with us.
That's right.
Every step of the way.
Yeah, I think we got to choose great and forget the hate, because you got to realize, where's the hate coming from? Well, an entrepreneur is never going to judge you and throw hate your way for trying to go do entrepreneurial things. A professional basketball player is never going to hate on someone for practicing their craft all the time. A race car driver is never going to hate on someone else who's trying to, you know, get that, you know, work on their skill. The ones that are going to hate are going to be the ones that are not the professionals and that are not the ones reaching the pinnacle of whatever it is that you're trying to aspire to. They're the ones that are down here. And so, not to, you know, throw shade their way, but whenever you're having those thoughts of, I don't know, what will those people say? Those people that might throw hate aren't anywhere close to where you are aiming to be. So they have no credibility. And so you just have to choose great and put the blinders on. Yeah.
I think that's why it's so important to choose your circle too and who you're around. So like, if anyone is listening to this and they're like, I feel called to step into greatness, whether it's, you know, hey, I want to step up financially for my family. I want to step up in my fitness, you know, my world of fitness. I want to step up, you know, whatever it might be. You have a job or a business idea that you're thinking about pursuing. It's so important who you decide to hang around and who you decide to tell all these ideas to. Because someone who has had an idea like that in the past but never took action on it, when you tell them that you're about to go start this business and do this, they're immediately going to be like, I've been sitting in the doubt of starting a business for 3 years. It's going to be what's going through their mind. So the moment you tell someone like that you decided you wanted to start this business and you wanted to go do this and be great, they're going to be like, well, you know, they're going to come out, they're going to start putting excuses on you.
Yeah.
They are going to start putting excuses on you.
Even for their insecurities of all those decisions and all those doubts that they had, that's what's going to start casting towards you, is their own insecurity.
Yeah, and so anyone listening to this, whether you are someone who has found yourself being in that position, being in the position of hey, I feel like I'm being called into greatness, but you feel like you have no one to talk to, reach out to us. Find one of your friends, like someone who is doing some awesome things, and those are going to be some amazing people that encourage you. But also, if you're in the position of the person who has maybe found themselves stuck, sitting there just basically pulling other people down, because there are people like that out there that might be listening to this. If you're one of the ones that like you realize, wow, I've been wanting to do something for years, but instead, kind of like when my friends have come to me, I didn't even realize I was doing this, but out of my own lack of action, I've found myself maybe not encouraging my friends to chase after their dream. That's okay too, as long as you now realize that, and then you just say, hey, from here on out, I'm going to take action. Maybe I'm going to reach out to that friend and encourage them and tell them that they are, because I've been there. I've been that friend who's like, hey, so-and-so's like, hey man, I'm getting in shape. I'm going to go work out. Hey, can you go repost my workout video? I'm trying to build this business around working out. And here I am not working out ever. And I'm making excuses in my own head. So I'm like, I'm going to repost their stuff. I think what they're doing is stupid. Well, really, it's because I wanted to go work out, and it's because I was mad at myself for not going to work out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No doubt. I think that there's room for growth on both sides of the spectrum.
I do too.
Whether you're the hater or the hated, we can all grow.
For sure. There was something else we talked about this week. What was that one text message that I sent you that day I was running? You said bookmark that.
Well, looks like you didn't bookmark it.
Not in my mental storage. It's in my phone. It was a really good thought. It kind of played along with this. I think it might have been like the style of training, talking about a style of training too.
Yeah. Well, maybe that'll be for another episode. Leave that little tidbit out for a little teaser right there. There's something good coming out of the mouth of Trey.
So what are you thinking, bro? We just wrap this one up, I guess.
I think sometimes less is more, and that was a lot of really, really good quality stuff right there. And
felt a little all over the place. Maybe it's not going to sound all over the place.
That's what we always think. We're like, man, I don't know about this one. And then we go back and listen to it. We're like, that was a fire word. That was a word. That was a word. That was a word.
Yeah. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, we just have to remember that everyone out there, us included, everyone that's listening to this, no matter where you're at, again, if faith, fitness, finance, and mindset framework, if you're feeling like you are wanting to step up in any of those areas, period, any of them, don't let the enemy keep you in a cycle of doubt and a cycle of fear. You just kind of got to go. You got to reach out to someone you don't know. Even if you're insecure about reaching out to someone that you know, maybe worried about what they're going to think, reach out, shoot us a message.
Yeah, because it's a road that is far less traveled, and like we touched on today, there's not going to be many people that decide to choose great. And we've all been there, you and I both. And that season of life, honestly, that season of isolation is really an amazing. Oh, I've been talking with my mic lower. That season of isolation is one that I've been in without, going deep into my whole testimony, story, whatever. You can just vouch that anyone that's been in a season of isolation, it's important, and we all need to have that, but it's also important to choose your circle wisely and to choose to surround yourself with others that also choose to be great. And together you can both ignore the hate. It's a lot easier, man, doing a lot of life with you whenever we're both on one accord.
Absolutely.
And everyone needs that. Everyone needs that.
Well, hey, we're touching 30 minutes. So what do you say we go ahead and wrap it up? Let's give us a quote, Braden.
Give us a quote. All right. Quote of the day. Buckle up. You can't control the wind. You can't, bro. You can't control the wind. Okay. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust the sails.
That's good, bro. I was just laughing. I thought he'd
Thought I
for
forgot.
a moment there forgot it.
No. I was just giving him something to look forward to. All right. On that note.
On that note.